Are you prepared for any of this?
I am prepared.
Welcome everybody to another exciting episode of the Shots Fired podcast. As usual, and as always, you got your boy Big Joe.
You got your boy J-Had.
It's your boy Rubes.
Rubes in the building joining us tonight. Julio the Don is working. And Trill he's dealing with it. So we're gonna do what we can do. We're gonna keep pushing forward. We have a nice little show in store for you guys. We have some craziness that happened this weekend in the boxing world. We have some craziness that happened off of the football field. And, you know, we're bringing back the bro code / you just made the list hybrid segment we have this week. So we've got quite a bit to get into, but before we do all that, you already know how we kick it off, bro. Hit that music. Hit that music. What the? So, I know, Jay, you watched it because I texted with you throughout the night.
Yes, sir.
Ruben, I know you said you didn't get to watch it, but we're going to start the show talking about that Triller little exhibition, night of exhibitions that we got to watch. My personal opinion, just starting, wasn't as good as the first one.
I agree.
But they got some things to tighten up.
Mm-hmm.
But the biggest thing that I took from it, there was two big gaffes, I would say, on the night. The first one was the bigger one, I'll say, because it happened second. But the bigger one was Oscar De La Hoya showing his whole ass on TV in that commentary booth and just making a fool of himself. Like he was really out there, like calling this dude USSR. Then he was calling them USSA, and he was talking about pop the balloons, and
just all over the place, bro.
He was wild, man. He said, I'll go down to the end. I'll fight to the end. I'll bleed to the end.
Yeah, I'll bleed to the end.
I was like, what are we talking about, man? Like he was on another level. And like, I thought it was a bit at first.
No,
but it didn't stop.
No bit, bro. That was not a bit.
and Mario Lopez being he's the homie. Like, he's really trying to back him up, cover him.
His shoulders.
Yeah, like he's trying his best to just take that heat off. Nah, it's not gonna happen.
He looked so annoyed when Mario came up and touched him. He was just like,
bro, he was like, hey, show my effing face more. Y'all need to cut to me. I was like, what is wrong with you?
During the boxing match, he was saying to show my face more.
Yeah, during the fight, he's like, cut to me more.
Yeah.
I think Gerald said that he said something like, I'm trying to show off. I told my doctor I would show off his work. Like, it was bad, bro. He was out of there.
He was so high he thought it was an interview versus the commentating on the actual boxing fight.
For real. He's like, I've never seen an interview where some other guys are trying to steal my spotlight by fighting when I'm doing my interview. Bro, It was tough. Like he was out of there. They were making fun of how him and Snoop were getting high all night.
Yep.
They were hotboxing Al Bernstein.
Bro, he
they're
was
just
violent most of the night.
well, he just sat there with a little grin on his face.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when they're shotgunning you the whole night.
Yeah, true.
What do you think about the overall show, Jay? Like, what did you think about Oscar? What did you think about the show? Because we still have the second part of that WTF to come.
Yeah, we do. I think whoever gave Oscar the green light, I mean, maybe you should have talked to him a little bit more one-on-one, been like, before you go out here, are you good? You're about to go out here. I think Oscar is like part of Triller, I believe. I think he owns part of it or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the My Pillow guy going on CNN. Like, bro, are you sure you're ready for this? Like,
yep. I know all the questions.
Oh man, it was a bad look, bro. It was a really bad look. The overall show, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. I dug it. Now, was there too many musical acts? 1000% yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you watch all these other promotions, they're not doing it. They're not entertaining you. I mean, you got to think the one that you had me watch with, I believe, Canelo or Triple G, one of the two.
Right.
There was no commentary.
Yeah, that was a Triple G
for the whole fight.
Right.
Nothing. Now, I mean, at least we have Snoop. They had Oscar out there. Thankfully, when they came back for the Paul fight, Snoop was out there. Thank you, Lord. Like, man, it was rough, bro. It was really rough.
Yeah, man. Let me give you let me give you just some of the names that performed. So Ice Cube performed. Snoop performed.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Too Short performed. Yep. Who else performed?
E40.
E40 performed.
Mm-hmm.
Doja Cat performed.
Yep.
Justin Bieber performed. There was another.
I don't know who
was E40 with the other three rappers with Too Short.
Yeah,
Ice Cube.
He's part
Snoop.
of Mount Westmore.
Yeah, Mount Westmore. Like,
and then like I said, Doja Cat performed. Bro, Ric Flair was there.
There was a slap boxing.
There was a slap fight. A slap. Have you seen those? Where they just take turns slapping the shit out of each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was one of those. And
they didn't even name the guys. They
didn't even tell the names. They were just slapping the shit out of each other.
So obviously, I didn't watch it, right?
Right.
But to me, what it sounds like one of those. Remember how the Wayne brothers used to always do a spoof of a movie that came out?
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they put a spoof of professional boxing, right?
Yeah.
Having all these has-beens in the show,
and
things like that. So
it was crazy, bro. It was crazy to see it. Pete Davidson was there.
Yep.
And he was talking shit about how he didn't like Jake Paul, and he said Jake Paul was a punk. And
you see what they're doing there. They're planting the seed for the next fight.
They're setting up the next storyline for WrestleMania next year.
Pretty much. Yeah.
And then the other WTF, I don't even remember the guy's name. But he took a phantom punch to the left side of his body, and he doubled over. Like his back was to the ref.
Right.
So when the guy threw the punch, he buckled over, and when you saw it live, you're like, "Oh man, what happened?" Thought he hit him in the body, and he dropped. They show the replay. He completely missed his body, and the guy doubled over and starts grabbing his balls.
Yep.
And they're like, "Oh, what happened? Like, was that a low blow? You know, what's going on?" Like he was like almost crying on the ground.
He even banged the mat like he was trying to get feeling back in his nuts.
Right.
Like banged the mat and like and then laid down.
Bro, he was like screaming. He was kicking the mat. Like he looked like they had just mollywopped him right in the dick. And they show the replay, and it's like, no, he didn't. He didn't even touch him.
Right. Yep.
He completely missed. It like grazed the side of his body.
Right.
And the guy drops. He was getting his ass whooped all night long. Let's be clear about that.
He was losing the fight 100%.
So for him to drop, he was getting his ass whooped, and he didn't want no more.
Yep.
And he was like, "This is the way out." They carried him out on a gurney. Like they had him strapped to the board, and they're carrying him out. Bro,
left hand still on his nuts.
Yeah.
As he's strapped to the gurney.
The lady ringside doctor has gloves on, and she's in his cup, like making sure his balls are still there, because he was really acting like they fell off. Like that's how bad it was.
Yeah.
And the more the thing that pissed me off was like the more they showed the replay, the harder he tried to sell it.
Yep. Yep.
Like they said he stopped and he was watching the replay, and then he just started up again. Like I was like, no, fam, that's not what it is. You're on Triller. You're supposed to be, you know, setting a name for yourself, and you embarrass yourself.
Bro, he ain't gonna. That's done. No more Triller.
Oh yeah.
Why not just ask your corner to throw in the towel for you, man? I think this is more embarrassing than anything else, especially in modern day era where everything's recorded, everything goes viral, especially something like this. Like it was going like we're in the group text messages. Like I was getting the text messages every 5 seconds, one by Oscar De La Hoya, and then this guy, and I'm just like, what the heck's going on? And then we watched the video. And then, kind of like you said, Joe's like, this guy screaming bloody murder. And as he's doing that, they replay, and you hear Mario Lopez like, he didn't even touch him.
He didn't even hit him. It was bad, man. Like to see that, you know, he's done. And Triller's trying to do some things, man. Like they're trying to make moves. So that's a bad look, because they had Teofimo Lopez on the show, and they were talking about, you know, they're gonna bring his next fight. Golden Boy's working with him, like, right. You know, they're trying to get something going. Bad. That's a black eye for Triller. The other black eye, now that we're done with that WTF, because, you know, Oscar and fake guy hitting the balls guy, they deserve that WTF. But the other thing was the main event, and that was Jake Paul and Ben Askren, or as Buffer called him, Ben Askew.
His body is Askew.
Yeah. It's shaped like a question mark. You have a guy, I really feel like Ben Askren was asked to step up for the MMA community, because it's been long debated, man, like which, you know, contact sport is more,
it's superior.
It's superior, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it boxing or is it MMA?
Yeah.
If you put two guys in a ring, who would win? And it's you know, a lot of the smart fan will tell you, well, it just depends on the rules.
Depends
Like
on which
it-
ring, right?
Right. If you're going on anything goes, then obviously the MMA guys got the advantage. But if it's just standing on your feet and going toe to toe, the boxers should have the advantage. And they did that here. And you have Ben Askren, who is notoriously known to be probably one of, if not the worst striker in UFC history.
Yeah.
He's a wrestler, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Going in there, and he was out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know if he really threw a punch.
No, he didn't.
And he's taken shots from guys like Robbie Lawler. He took a knee from George Masvidal. I mean, he knocked out with that one.
He ate that,
Right.
and was dead,
And
pretty much.
Jake Paul throws one overhand right, and it's the end of the night for Ben Askren.
And it's lights out. You know, I kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt, because they say once you've been knocked out pretty bad, it's really easy to be knocked out again. Like that knee, the last time he was knocked out was Masvidal's knee. And taking a knee to the head is way worse than taking a fist.
Depends on where you take the fist.
True. Well, I mean,
If you take it to the ribs, or you act like you take it to the ribs, but you tell everybody you took it to the dick,
look at the nut. Yeah.
you know.
No, I mean, he was. I feel like he took a dive. I'm just gonna say it. It looked like he took a dive. Like, okay, I'm gonna come in here. I know I'm getting paid. All right,
$500,000. He earned $500,000 for that fight.
that's just off top,
Right.
right? That's not
That was a guarantee.
anything else or whatever
Right.
stuff or whatever. If you ask me to take a punch for $500,000, what time, what date, give me all that, and let's go. I'll take a punch. Yeah, let's do it. $500,000, yeah. And I think that's what he did. He didn't earn $500,000 in UFC or Bellator
No.
or anywhere else. So
He said that's the most he's ever gotten paid to fight.
and to me also, like, the other thing is, like, why would you pick the worst dude in MMA to box you? I mean, you already know. I mean, I know why, because
Right.
you want to win.
Right.
You want another notch on your belt
Professional belt.
of I beat another athlete. Oh, okay. Let's cut all that shit out. Stop picking retired athletes. First of all, pick a boxer, or pick an athlete that can box. You know, you're throwing out the Diaz brothers, and you can take either one of them. You can take Nate. He's smaller. You can take Nick. Take Nick. I've seen Nick shadow box in the street. That scared the shit out of me. I'm a lot bigger than Nick Diaz. But seeing him just shadow box by himself, half drunk, I'm still not messing with the guy.
Right.
You know? So
yeah, that transitions us into the next topic, and that is, do you think Jake Paul should be required to fight professional or at least amateur boxers moving forward?
Yep. I mean, if you want to come up as a boxer, that's what he's a famous YouTuber doing all this crazy stuff. But if you want to get any sort of credibility, you got to fight a credible person.
Right.
And again, you don't have to fight someone in their prime. Like, I wasn't expecting to fight like Canelo, right? Or I don't know if he's in his prime. I'm not a boxing or UFC
He is, but
fan.
he's small.
But either way, like I wouldn't even expect Canelo to even fight someone like that. But like these up and coming guys who just trying to get a shot, right? Like the Rockies, real life Rockies.
Yeah.
Fight one of these guys because UFC. If someone in UFC was able to is a good boxer, he'll be boxing, not in UFC, right?
Right.
So to me, kind of to your point, Joe, when you talk about fighting someone from, if you put him in an octagon, the UFC fighter is going to win. If you put him in the ring, most likely the boxer is going to win, right? You really don't know, especially if someone's a striker, right, or is known for punching. But to me, if he wants to be credible, I'm not saying he is or he isn't, because again, I'm not a fan of the sport personally. You got to fight someone coming up, someone like I don't know how big or small comparison, but like Earl Spence, right? Earl Spence is growing in the boxing world. Like I hear of his name, and I'm not even a boxing fan. Maybe just because he's a local guy, but someone kind of like up and coming like that, to kind of bring some credibility. But to be honest, man, I don't think anyone in this striker, organization is serious. I mean, we've just been making fun of the product that they just put out, right? So, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. If you want to be known as a credible fighter, you should back someone who's at least somewhat credible.
Yeah.
Right.
This to me reminds me a lot of, I don't know how familiar you guys are with Kimbo Slice. So Kimbo Slice was knocking everybody out in the streets. You know what I'm saying? And I see a lot of that same similarity as far as you got a guy who's found his niche as a boxer, but he's not fighting boxers. He's fighting a retired basketball player who is in his 40s, and then he's fighting a retired wrestler who is, I believe, he's in his 30s or 40s, and came out of shape and just was there for a paycheck. I mean, Ben Askren got up. He got up by the 8 count, and the referee stopped it.
And when they were walking back to the locker room, he was all smiling, and
he was fine.
He was fine.
He walked out on his own accord.
Yeah,
wasn't anybody helping him up, walking him around. He was all smiles, walking to the back. Him and his wife.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't look good for your product when you're pushing the fight game.
Right.
To have something like that.
Joe, I don't know how deep you follow this, but there was let's see, Mike Perry called out Jake Paul. Cody No Love called him out. Those two right there alone would eat that boy's.
Bro, Tyron Woodley called him out.
Well, I saw the video of Tyron Woodley in, I guess, Jake's
in his locker room,
coach or whatever, whoever the black guy is.
Yeah,
it may be a coach, it may be his training partner, whatever. They're trying to put something together where it's Tyron and that guy versus Jake and either No Love or Mike Perry. Now, if Dana lets that happen, goodbye, Jake Paul. That's the last time we'll hear about Jake Paul.
Bro, Tyron Woodley said, I'll fade you and your whole crew. Like, he got no qualms about it. He's like, we could scrap.
I mean, there's UFC boxers out there that are not UFC boxers, UFC fighters that can box, that have actual boxing skill. So, and have been doing it way longer than Jake Paul.
Yep.
Now,
I would have liked to have seen in his prime Chuck Liddell take a fight like that.
Oh, you're asking for somebody's murder, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, how long does this go on before it's like, okay, it's a circus He's not a real fighter. I give him his props. He knocked the dude out. Well, they said he knocked him out. He knocked out Nate Robinson, but he's calling out dudes that they're nowhere near his size. Like he called out Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor fought Nate at what, 170, 175, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And Jake Paul, like I told you, he's 190 weigh in, so he's probably around 205.
Walking around and wait.
Right. That's John Jones.
Right.
You want to see John Jones fight Conor McGregor? That's not going to happen.
Right.
Like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So he's calling out guys that he knows he can beat. And from a marketing standpoint, we've talked about it before. I kind of feel like it's the Floyd Mayweather effect.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm going to call my own fights. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to pick my opponents, and nobody can tell me that I didn't win those fights.
Well, that's the other thing. Like he's not calling out Stephen Griffin or, what was the other guys? Forrest Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Is that it? No, not Forrest Cole. It was Forrest something. But he's not calling out those.
Forrest Whitaker.
No.
He got one bad eye already.
You know who I'm talking about. The two original guys from The Ultimate Fighter.
Oh, Forrest Griffin.
Forrest Griffin. Stephen Bonner.
Yeah, Stephen Bonner.
Yes, those two. He's not calling them out.
Right.
Call them
and
out.
Those guys are his size.
Yeah, call them.
They fought at like 205.
Yeah, 100%.
185, 205.
Yeah, and I'd rather see either that or, like I said, I think Dustin Poirier. I think Mike Perry. I think
like he called out Dustin Poirier. I'm like, Dustin Poirier just fought Conor at a way smaller weight. Why are you calling these little dudes out?
Because he thinks he knows he can beat him. Dustin Poirier would put something on him. Number one.
I mean, you're asking for problems. I don't think the UFC did a great job of putting the support behind Ben Askren as far as you're putting all your eggs in the basket of a guy who's been retired, and you're kind of telling him, carry the flag for us.
Well, that's like I was listening to George St. Pierre on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan Experience.
Shout out Joe Rogan.
Yes. Hey, get those numbers.
We'll be in Austin next week.
Yeah, we will. Anywho, I was listening to George talk, and he was talking about how Freddie Roach was training Ben, and Ben just came in there for 1 week, and George was like, I hope it doesn't make us look bad. He just made y'all look bad, bro. Like,
yep.
You can't go to a boxing gym for 1 week and think, fam, I got this, bro. I got this. No.
Yeah, he was like, how's Ben's training? And he said he came for a week.
Yeah.
And Chael Sonnen doubled down, and he was like, I know Ben Askren's gonna win. He's taking some of the heaviest shots in the UFC, and he hasn't been knocked out by a punch. And he got dropped. So,
but was that a real drop though? I can't call it, bro.
It's tough. It's tough. It's tough to hold on. I'm texting T right now. Y'all feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, but to me, I think it's.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. But no, I think it kind of just same thing. I think it was more of a show than anything else. I think everything kind of just solidifies it. More and more things that we like. I didn't watch it, right? And I saw someone on Twitter talking about who's paying for this, and they're like, the joke's on you if you have to pay for this, you whack stuff, right? And to me, I was at, since I'm fully vaccinated, we were at WinStar. And WinStar had, when you guys started talking about the fights, I was looking because I saw a fight going on, but it was actually UFC.
Mm-hmm. They were going on at the same time.
Yeah, so when you guys were talking about, with the WTF, with the fake, groin shot, I was looking and I was like, oh, okay, they must have been talking about the other fight, right? But yeah, no, man, I think, and I think that's why sports like UFC, NFL, NBA, MLB, all of those are going to forever last because anything that tries to compete with it is never up to par, right?
I mean, boxing is older than all those, though.
Right, but this wasn't real boxing. This wasn't from the Boxing Federation, right? It's kind of like the XFL versus the NFL, right? It's football, but it wasn't really entertaining. It was like back in the day when Vince McMahon did it, like the cool names and the nicknames and jerseys and stuff like that, right? It's like, this is probably pretty cool. But then you watch the games and then you're like, man, this. I mean, some of the rules are pretty cool and unique, right? It's like. I'm not a football purist, but I'm like, man, maybe we should incorporate that in the NFL, right? But
I mean, I hate to be that guy because you are a part-time analyst on the podcast, but we don't shit on anything Vince McMahon does here in this podcast. Vince McMahon's sports are the gospel here. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah. Okay. Well. I thought I was on a credible show. Look, this is another reason why this is. Are you guys sponsored by Stryker?
It's Triller, sir. Triller.
I don't even know the name.
Nobody does. It'll be something else next time.
Are you looking at your notes to make sure you remember? But yeah,
no, I'm not that professional. I don't keep notes, so.
Well, yeah, but anyways, I think kind of going back to the question, same thing. If he wants to be considered a valid professional athlete, you got to fight someone with some sort of credibility, not someone who isn't.
Right. Mm-hmm. And if we're talking athletes that are credible, and we're talking athletes that are known to hand out a legitimate ass whooping, we got to be talking about this next former Dallas Cowboy. And that is none other than Aldon Smith.
Great segue.
Yeah, I thought so. I just made that up. Aldon Smith, bro, is he's in the news for what they say it was, second degree battery, I believe it was, that allegedly happened sometime in April. I believe it was last week. No, I'll tell you right now. This is why it helps to have notes. April 17th. So that was what? Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah. We got arrested Saturday for something that happened
in the past.
In the past.
Yeah. So this is starting to let you know what the Cowboys were looking at when they said, "Hey, we're not bringing him back." It didn't make sense at the time because you think about it, Seattle offered to trade and pick him up. And the Cowboys were like, no, we're good. He didn't do anything outside of that first month he was with us. But I do sincerely think the Cowboys were thinking, we're going to bring him back. He can do something for our team. And they learned some things, unfortunately. And I believe that started right around the start of this year when they made the decision of, I don't think we're bringing him back.
Right.
So it didn't make sense. Like we're letting him walk now. We got nothing for him. No compensation. And where does he end up? He ends up with Seattle, the team that wanted to trade for him. Mm-hmm. And then you hear this. That there was some sort of alleged battery. What do you think? Like,
yeah, I was like you, Joe. I was kind of surprised and was like, why aren't we re-signing this guy? Right? I thought he was good. I think if he had a full off season, obviously last year COVID kind of altered all that, but I think having last year, having a full off season, OTAs, etc., I think he would have been a very solid player.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of shocked on why they didn't re-sign him. And then when I saw him sign with Seattle last week, I'm like, I'm like, well, it is what it is. But one thing that the Cowboys have, man, is they have a real good insight of what's going on with their players. I don't know if it's, if they have like private investigators or detectives out there, or they just got a good, strong network, or just a really strong rapport with their players, where they go, hey, just let you know, I screwed up last week. This may come out, right? Whatever it is, the Cowboys have it's really good that they have.
Yeah.
You really don't hear that about other teams, or maybe we're just out of the loop, right? We don't follow the other teams as much as we have. But to me, I've always been impressed, and like I saw Mike Fisher tweeted out like we couldn't say anything, but the Cowboys knew this was going on, and that's why they didn't decide to re-sign him. But I mean, it's a smart move. I think if they would have traded with Seattle, like there would have been some sort of creative trade, like, hey, if he doesn't start this many games, you're going to give us a second round draft pick or whatever the case may be, right? And Steven's like, nah, we're good. Because they didn't want to get hung up on anything. Because especially with his history, it doesn't look good, right?
It was a feel good story for the time.
Yeah, it was.
And then you start to, I mean, unfortunately, we're all human, bro, and like we all have our vices and we all have our missteps. But the one thing that you can pretty much guarantee from anybody that is a human is you are going to fall back into your old ways. What is normal for you.
Right.
And it takes a lot to overcome alcoholism, drug abuse. And I can't say that I've ever been this guy, but I'm sure it takes a lot to overcome being abusive. Like, I don't know what kind of abuse he's experienced in his life that made that normalized for him.
Right.
But something in his mind doesn't let him understand that it's wrong because he does it.
Right.
But he was trying his best to be a better person, and I commend him for that. But you eventually fall back into what you know. Mm-hmm. That's his comfort zone, unfortunately, whatever that is. So
I don't think it's his comfort zone. I just think it's acceptable behavior probably in his mindset. But again, we're assuming here that he's guilty of what he did, right?
Right.
And to me, I think I'm leaning towards that he possibly could be, because to me, I think Cowboys is one of the organizations that sticks by their players. Mm-hmm. When all these when accusations come out, right, or arrest comes out. Kind of, we've seen it with Zeke, we've seen it with other players, right? So to me, makes me kind of feel that he probably was honest with them. It's probably like, hey, this is what we heard. What happened? Like, you tell me what happened, right? I'm all ears, and he probably was just honest. Like, you know what? Yeah, I did reacted this way, and this happened, and yeah. And then the Cowboys were probably like, all right, cool, we're done.
Yeah.
Right. If he would have kind of like disputed it and kind of just like, nah, this didn't happen, or that's not the full story, I think at that time, we probably would have re-signed him. Like, probably a real creative contract, right? But I don't think it's something that, I think it's just something in this, like I said, I don't think it's just normal to him. I just think it's something that it's kind of like it's
normal to him.
No, I just think I don't think it's normal. I don't think he's a person who just goes about and abuses people, right? I just think there's probably a reaction that he has, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we all know those hotheads. You know,
Yeah,
we always
but that's
have,
what I'm saying. That is his normal. His normal is maybe that he does have a temper, or that he does react physically for whatever reason. I'm not saying that he's out there like, man, I can't wait to beat the shit out of somebody today. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he gets triggered and he's like, he's blacks out. No offense, Gerald. And he lashes out physically.
Well, look. When you sent the mugshot today, I mean, I could have told you right off the rip that he was going to be a problem just by looking at his middle name.
Oh, that's so racist, man.
It's not. That was bad.
That's racist as hell.
That was the bad kid. And
what's his middle name?
Jacarius.
Bro, you lying.
Look at
his name is Alden Jakaris Smith.
Hey, it was close.
Jacarius, bro.
That's still the bad kid, and
how precarious.
That's still the bad kid in kindergarten that had to sit by the teacher all day long because there was issues. Like, I'm not making fun of him. I'm just saying, like,
but you are.
I'm not.
You just did.
I did not. Look at my face. I'm serious. This is my serious face.
His serious face looks like his sarcastic face.
Yeah, his serious face looks like he's laughing at him for having
I'm really not. There's
an ethnic middle name.
There's nothing funny about what he is going through or what happened. Like, that's not
right.
That's nothing to laugh about, but I guess we have a reputation in Dallas of having those problem players. Like, we always have. We had what was the name? Greg Hardy. We always have like the problem childs for whatever reason. Quincy Carter,
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, well,
he doesn't play
not here, fam. Not here.
Not here. Houston.
No, well, the reason why I threw his name out is because we're close to home, right? So we see it.
Right.
So we know their players. We know, we know. But like, Houston's hearing it right now, right? Like, with all this. But I think it's just people in general, right?
They don't get the hate like we get. If Deshaun Watson was the quarterback of the Cowboys,
but
that's what I'm trying to get at, Joe, is that the Cowboys sell, good, bad, or indifferent news. Everybody's drawn to it because the haters are going to love it and the fans are going to be like trying to defend it, right? That's why the Cowboys are freaking so many national television every week, regardless of what our record was.
Right.
We had the worst record. I remember one year we had the worst record, and then we had the most primetime games. Why? Because they sell.
Right.
That's why Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless talk about the Cowboys all the time.
Right.
Because it sells. Because they have fans. You never met a person who just said, Cowboys are all right. They either love them or hate them.
Mm-hmm.
To this day.
Yeah.
To this absolute day.
But to your point, Joe, all the stuff that's coming out with Deshaun Watson, like, how is this not more like bigger than anything else? Or the guy who beat up his girlfriend.
That disappeared quick. That disappeared
like that.
Yeah.
What team was he on?
Not the Cowboys.
Was it the Packers? Was it the Packers?
I think it was the Titans, wasn't it? Something like that.
I don't even know.
It's not important. It wasn't the Cowboys.
But Zeke pulls down a girl's top at the St. Patrick's Day parade, and it's like all over the news for like
a girl he knows, by the way. A girl he knows.
And that was everywhere. It's like
right. I mean, I'm not saying that was acceptable because I mean, it was the parade. There was alcohol.
Nope.
Like other girls were doing that. He did it to her. That's what made it unacceptable.
Joe, in the words of Mr. Holt, just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone.
I'm just saying, fam. Like he didn't even get caught doing anything bad, and he got suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other thing I'll tell you is, if something does come out with Alden Smith, unfortunately, if it does, the Cowboys are going to get lumped into it somehow.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not going to be, well, Seattle Seahawk Alden Smith. It's going to be former Dallas Cowboy.
Yeah.
It's
You know
always
what I'm
like
saying?
that.
Or it's going to be, well, this happened under the Cowboys' watch.
Right. Yeah.
So it sucks to have the guy going through that. Prayers out to him. I mean, I'm sure he can use all he can get.
Right.
He is a human. Humans make mistakes. We all make mistakes.
Yep.
But yeah, man, praying for him, hoping that he can turn it around and stay turned around.
Right.
Because that's what he was trying to do. He's an immense talent that you hate to see may have just gone to waste.
Right.
So
yeah.
Jay, fam.
Yes, sir.
Get us into our last topic of the night, brother.
All right. Well,
if you please.
We have the hybrid of the bro code, and you just made the list of top 3 adult beverages.
Them bebies.
Now, when we're talking about adult beverages, now your boy Jihad is a retired partier, drinker, heavy drinker, retired. When I think about adult beverages, and I'll go with my number 3 right off top. My number 3 would probably have to be a regular old Modelo. That would be my number 3. Just a nice ice cold Modelo. The regular.
Import.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One thing I learned about Gerald after all this time, Gerald is not a man of domestic taste. Gerald likes those imports.
You got to go out, bro.
Whether it be alcoholic beverages,
don't go there.
Whether it be members of the opposite sex, whatever it might, vehicles, whatever.
Vehicles, yeah.
Jay Had's all about the imports. Keep the domestics at home, he says. Show me the import lot.
Yes, you are correct. You are correct.
So, I think my number 3, I'll keep it simple, is and I catch a lot of shit for my number 3, and that is a Bud Light. I can drink a Bud Light easy.
I could do that.
As long as it's cold, of course.
Mm-hmm. It has to be cold, but beer has to be cold.
Right. Beer has to be cold.
Especially a Bud Light, bro. You can't let it get warm and like hold it in your palm, bro.
No.
Get rid of it. Pour it out. It's gone.
Might as well be drinking your own piss. No.
For real. So that's my number 3. Short and sweet is a Bud Light.
Yep. True?
Yeah. So I'm kind of, I wouldn't say retired, but not an active drinker. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even say a social drinker, just one of those every once in a while type scenarios. Right. But my number 3 is the only hard liquor on my list. It's Patron chilled, but like really chilled.
Which bottle though?
Silver.
Okay.
Yeah, to me, it's just I never.
Are you dressing it all the way, or are you just taking it to the head like that?
Just taking it to the head, just straight up. But it's very. It's rare when I drink, but it'd be even a lot. It'd be even few and very far in between for any type of hard liquor.
Mm-hmm.
I think it makes my blood boil, so I become that angry. Liquor makes me angry, so I try to stay away from it. Right? I don't want to be that angry drunk. Like I'm already an angry person.
Just being the height you are,
Yeah,
I can understand that.
The Napoleon syndrome.
You said it. You said it. I didn't go that far.
Hey, I'm average height for Hispanic male.
Okay, well, keep telling yourself that. You can settle an argument between Gerald and I. Keep that thought in mind as far as average height. Ruben says Patron Silver as his number 3. Jay, who you got for your number 2?
My number 2, it was a drink made by my late godfather. Rest in peace, Jose Reyna Sr. It was like a tequila lime agave like mixture. And I don't even know like the proportions of it. It was just tequila, lime, and agave, and that thing tasted amazing. Like you couldn't even taste the tequila in it. And that's dangerous when you empty like 3 bottles. So it's not. That was back in my my drinking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So last week
with him, no, it was last week. It was years ago.
Right. Back when the body was strong and we could handle stuff like that.
I can't handle stuff like that no more, bro.
I went to a buddy's house, a really good buddy's house, a couple weekends ago to celebrate his birthday. And there was a consumption of about 4 adult bevies. It was a 1 shot of whiskey and 3 beers, and I about passed out.
Your boy was gone.
He gone. We're leaving, and I'm like, babe, can you drive? Just drive. Like I'm tired. I'm sleepy.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's. I think we're all out of that game. Pretty safe to say.
I was done after my 30th birthday party, and that's a story for another show.
He was out of there,
bro.
So what's your number 2, Joe?
My number 2, it's the classic, man. Jack and Diet Coke. It's Diet Coke for me. Jack and Diet Coke. Just give it to me like that. Give me some Jack. Give me some Diet Coke. Can't go wrong with that. Can't go wrong with that.
Well, you heard me and Rue.
Y'all soft. SAWFT.
I don't care.
Soft.
I don't care. I don't like whiskey.
It's okay, bro. It's not for everybody. You know, it is an acquired taste. I can't lie. Rue, what you got for your numero dos?
My number 2 is every Mexican's drink of choice, man. Your number 3, Bud Light.
Bud Light. I thought you were gonna say Corona. Fool. I was like,
nah, I don't like Corona. But okay. I think Bud Light is probably what every Hispanic guy starts drinking beer. Like that's their first beer, and you kind of start graduating to other things and kind of just start going from there. But to me, that's what I grew up, man. That's what, like, when I was a heavy drinker, that was my drink of choice. Cheap, got the job done, and I kept it ice cold. Ice cold. I used to live in Houston, and me and my cousin used to drive back home, and we used to stop at Huntsville. Bro, we used to be able to buy a case of Bud Light for like $5 because it was a college town, and they always had kind of like specials. So it was like always, and that was across the prison right off of 45 Holiday Unit, and we would just go there all the time. We put it in a bucket, in a cooler with ice.
Yeah.
3 hours to get home. By the time we get home, we go to somebody's house and pull them out. Perfect temperature, man. But Bud Lights is my number 2.
Or as I call them after I start feeling good, give me a couple of stud lights. Little stud lights, bro.
Stud Lights.
Hey, I'll tell you what didn't make my list, and this because you talk about growing up, you the Mexicanos, Latinos, we're introduced to that Bud Light as kind of like the starter beer. My family was big on Milwaukee's Best.
Whoa.
I was like, what is that?
No.
What is that? Milwaukee's Best. Bro, my uncle had a Milwaukee's Best tattooed on his arm. That's how affiliated Milwaukee's Best was in our family.
That's wild.
Bro, that's hard up for some beer.
Yeah. Yeah. I would have to agree. I would have to agree.
Talking about bring me the beast. You know what the beast was, bro? That Milwaukee's Beast. Disgusting. Jay, hit me with that number 1, fam.
Number 1, bro. And this may surprise y'all, but my number 1 is a good old michelada. And I gotta have one. It has to be made, like homemade, almost. Not talking about, Mrs. I think it's Mrs. T, Mr. and Mrs. T's Bloody Mary mix. I ain't talking about. I want the authentic
Tomato juice.
Yeah.
V8 looking.
Yeah. I had a guy from Perry's Steakhouse. I believe his name is Julio.
That's racist.
No, not because that was his name. And he wasn't even like a bartender. He was a busboy. And I asked for a michelada, and the bartender, she was a female, and she was like, "Oh, what are you asking for?" I said, "Red beer." She's like,
Was she a white?
"Yeah." I don't know how to make that. And then she asked the other bartender, and the bartender was like, "Get Julio to make it." Dude came up from the back. He washed his hands, and he's like, "You want a michelada?" He was like, "You want me to make it like the way I make it at home?" And I was like, "Yes, please, bro." Perfect. I tipped that dude like $40 just for making me a michelada. It has to be made right. It has to be. It's good.
I never had one. I just can't do tomato juice like that.
What?
Same here.
Bro, I can't. I've had one. I've attempted. I'm not even going to say I've attempted one Bloody Mary in my life, and I was like, I would never try this again.
Wow.
It was terrible.
Wow.
Absolutely terrible.
You gotta try the Bud Light one then. Probably like the Bud Light one.
I couldn't tell you.
Ruse, what about your number 1, sir?
My number 1 is, and I just got into this a few years ago, but it's my go-to now. Dos Equis.
Ooh, good choice.
To me, I really like Dos Equis.
Smooth.
Really, to me, really smooth, really good. Good taste.
Wow.
Joe's gonna come out with Milwaukee's Best as his number 1. He's over there giving me.
I done set the stage.
Wow.
You should at least give me the Chacal trumpet, bro, instead of that.
Bro, I'm just saying. So you said yours was Dos Equis, the 2 X's?
Mm-hmm. I don't always drink beer, but when I do.
But when I do,
Bro,
I'm all.
I will agree. In my bouncing days, whenever I was done with the shift, that's what I went with. Dos Equis, 2 of them. And it was smooth. It was like drinking water for me. It was good. Really
That's
good.
that you have problems, bro.
Whatever.
What's your number one, Joe?
My number one, boys. Now, you can't get one of
Just tell
the
us. Just tell us.
you
We don't need
can't
no
get
anticipation.
one of the ingredients just anywhere. Like you have to make sure that they have the ingredient.
Are you about to give like a frou-frou drink, like some fruity bullshit drink? I think
Shirley Temple.
No, it's not anything.
Shirley Temple. Yeah,
It's not anything like that. Like I'm not drinking like martinis or anything,
Dirty
but
martini.
it's a drink that a buddy of mine put me on, and he was like, once you have one of these, like you won't go back to like the hard stuff or the beers, anything like that. And I found that is pretty damn accurate. And that is a vodka tonic with an orange slice. You cannot beat that, fam. You cannot beat that. Get you a vodka tonic, squeeze that orange slice in there, fam. Heaven.
Turn in your
Heaven.
hood.
Smooth, not expensive.
Wait. What type of vodka?
I don't care. The vodka, I don't care.
You're crazy. Okay.
The vodka, I don't care. Just give me a vodka tonic with an orange slice, fam.
Look who pulled up.
Yeah.
We're about to log off.
No, Joe. What happened, fam? What is going on?
Traffic on 360 is what's going on. That's like the worst freeway in the Metroplex next to 635.
Hey, T came in like this.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Got the
Yep.
Hey, T, we're the last segment, man. The bro code. Joe got a bro code violation for having vodka tonic as his number one adult beverage. But,
with the orange slice, fam.
With the orange slice. Shaken, not stirred, or stirred, not shaken.
You don't shake it, fam. Just pour it in the cup.
No.
What are your top threes?
I mean, I've never been a chaser until recently, but I would say my number three would be a Mai Tai. Like when I go to the Cheesecake Factory, I want no other drink other than a Mai Tai. My number two would be, what would my number two be? Grand Marnier, a splash of Sprite, and pineapple juice would be my number two.
And y'all talking shit about me with a vodka tonic and an orange slice.
I was about to say.
Your vodka tonic was number one, and that's surprising. I thought you would have said something with tequila, honestly.
See, that's racist, man.
That's racist.
Hey, don't feel bad because when you started naming yours, I was like, T's basically going to say anything can happen.
Nah, I don't even like him, bro.
You a damn lie, fam. That's like saying Mexicans don't drink Mexican beers.
Bro, I don't drink him, bro. I hate him.
Right there with
Anything is possible.
Nah, my number one, I would say my number one is probably, man, I just got to go with a good old fashioned Coors, bro. Yeah. No. My number one, man.
The silver bullet won't let you down.
No, the banquet. Like
the banquet beer. Yeah.
Cobra Kai.
Give me a banquet.
Man, my number one would probably just be, double crown apple on the rocks. That'll be my number one. Other than that, honestly, man, like my drinking it's changed over the last couple of years. Like recently, I started getting more into wines. Previously, I was on champagnes, and when I started drinking, I started out drinking 32-ounce Miller High Lifes. So going from, when you're 16, drinking a Miller High Life, after you got fired from a job, and then you done graduated to Nuvo. I was drinking Nuvo out the bottle, man, and shoot, as I got older, I just started I started with, like every black person, we had the Ciroc, red berry Ciroc. Then I got away from vodkas, and I was like, bro, I don't, I wasn't never really a dark liquor fan, but I guess because I only had tried Hennessy and regular Crown.
See, I told you.
Bro,
Like,
Hennessy will make you hate life.
bro, there's one Hennessy that I can drink, bro, and I cannot find it anywhere. It's in like a clear or a white bottle. But that's like the only Hennessy I'll ever drink. Like regular hen, I'm out.
Yeah.
But just these last couple of years, like I would say last year I started drinking more wines. And the year before that, I was really big on champagne. Like all I would drink was champagne. Give me some Bel Air, like Lux or what's the other one? Rosé.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
So have you tried the new Snoop Dogg wine?
Man, I want to try it. I keep seeing it everywhere, and I keep saying, man, this might be a sign for me to buy this. And I always skip over it and get Stella.
Have you tried it, Jay?
I tried it, bro. I hated it. My mom bought it for me for a Christmas gift, and I was over there for New Year's, and I took maybe like 2 glasses, and I was just like, no.
What type of wine is it?
Isn't it a brut? It's like a red brut.
No, I think it's a Chardonnay.
Is it?
I think so. We bought it the other day at Costco for like, it's cheap. It's like
$5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we haven't tried it, but
I didn't like it, but I'm not.
You'll be crip walking in no time, fam.
Yeah.
He's a crip, but it's called Cali Red.
Yeah, go figs.
Man. I don't know, man. Like I said, I keep seeing it everywhere I go when I go buy wine, so it might be a sign I might need to try it.
I'll let you know how it is.
You might like it. Try it out.
Bro, we were talking about how we're like pretty much retired from the drinking game.
Yeah.
Like we don't do it like we used to. And my man's like, oh, I'm out here drinking Mai Tais and Grand Marniers with some splashes and whatnot. I was like, bro, we drink Bud Light, Budweiser.
Bro, I can't drink beer no more, bro. Like my favorite beer was Blue Moon. I love Blue. Like if I went to a restaurant, I had to get a Blue Moon, bro. But I cannot drink beer anymore. Like
the only blue I ever drank was Sky Blue.
Nah, I'm out.
Do you guys
Smirnoff Black.
Nah.
Do you guys like the craft beers? Did you guys ever get into that?
Bro, I want to try those Stone Cold IPAs.
Bro, you know what I had today? I started my morning with a buttery nipple.
Hey.
That's how you got the Rona in the first place.
Bro, it was decent though, bro. I was like, damn, this kind of good, That was my first time ever having it. I was like, I might try this again, but I don't know, man. Like the beers, I'm kind of out on beers now. I used to love me a Coors or a Blue Moon, even a Bud Light. Like I love Bud Light, but I just can't drink beer anymore. Like
Bud Light is what brings us together, fam.
I mean, so the last time I had a beer was 4 years ago. It was literally 4 years ago. Actually 5 when I went to the Cowboy game. I paid like $10 for a Bud Light.
By a whole case for $10.
I'm good on beer, man. Like, but when I go out now, like if I go to a restaurant or something, like I get I would normally just get me a straight up drink, like give me a double Crown. A few years ago, I was big on Disaronno. But now it's like, shit, I try to experience something different, like the Mai Tai. Like bro, if I had not have gone to the Cheesecake Factory and got it there, I wouldn't know what a Mai Tai is. I was like, bro, is it like a martini? Like, I don't want no fucking martini. No, they brought the drink out and I saw all the liquor in there and it was like, it was layered kind of. I was like, damn, I mixed it. They put my little pineapple on there. I was like, bro, this is like, I'm almost like faded on one drink.
Fuego.
Boy.
Hey man, it's a whole new ball game of how your body starts reacting and how you start drinking. Like we're looking to get into wine, but I need something that's sweet.
Bro,
Like every wine I've had is like that bitter, like sour. I'm like, yeah.
I'm gonna give you some game.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture of one, Joe, that we had, and it's one of the rare wines that you chill, keep it refrigerated. It's good. It's real sweet. It's really good, and it's cheap. I mean, I don't know. We buy it at Costco. I don't know if they sell it anywhere else, but I'll send you a pic.
Send it to me too, because the one I was going to recommend to you, yeah, it's called Rivada Moscato d'Asti, bro. That is like the best wine that I have ever had, bro. It's like sweet, and they make it in different kinds, like different flavors. One is like a cupcake. I think one is like birthday. Like I don't like those, but my recommendation would go to Total Wine. Get it. It's left side, halfway down the aisle, up against
strong
the
side.
It's called Rivada, bro. It is like I run through the bottle. It's so good by myself, bro. For real.
That's called alcoholism, fam.
Hey man, I'm always committed to being an alcoholic. I'm a Blaxican.
For real.
My battery's about to die, so if I fall off, y'all know why.
Trill's at home, so there ain't no alcoholism. That's just having a good time by himself.
Oh, bro, if you're drinking at home by yourself, that's sheer alcoholism.
I do it all the time.
Nah.
But with that being said, that is the show. Gee, we gotta catch up on the deets and see how you're doing. But this was a fun one. Flew by too fast.
Yeah.
We talked Jake Paul needing to fight boxers, not retired athletes. We talked Oscar
being drunk,
being on that yayo, and we talked favorite adult beverages and stuff like that. So I had a blast. Thank you everybody that did participate, people that are gonna watch, people that are gonna listen, like, comment, subscribe on these videos. We'll get those out. I'm gonna just make it one big video so I don't have to deal with it, but it was a good one, man. So thank you everybody. We hope you enjoy, and we will see you again next week.
Peace.